Okay, next one. Previously, ito yung sa atin. Test statistics for mean, known standard deviation. This time, we don't know it. So, kasi we don't know the standard deviation, we use t-calc instead of z-calc. That means, to find the critical value, it's going to be critical t-value, we use the t-table, basically. So, okay, let's move on to the example agad. As usual, we have A, we have this is A, level of significance. X bar is the sample mean. This is the mean for everything, the general mean, in other words. And then this is, and then I think we still have a standard deviation dito, but then there's a reason why it's no longer classified as parang this onion symbol, unlike dito. Ayun no. Dito kasi it's replaced by S, which basically means sample standard deviation. Dito tawag lang in general standard error, but you don't have to really know that pa. So S, sabihin natin S yan, sample deviation or standard deviation. And then last is N, the sample mean. So sample mean is 141.375. What is our level of significance? 0.10. What is our standard deviation? 1.99592. What is the sample mean? 24 cups. What is the average? Ito, 142. You don't have to write the unit anymore, the degrees Fahrenheit, no need. So how do you know what kind of tail test is this? True mean differs, diba? The keyword differ, that means this is two-tailed. Another way of saying it is that is there any significant difference? So yeah. Now let's proceed to step 1, the null and alternative hypothesis. So since it's two-tailed test, we have equal and not equal sign. Equal sign for the null, non-equal sign for the alternative. And then after that, we just copy the average. This is 142. And then before we proceed to number 2, again, we look for the critical t value. Dati sa previous video, z value. Ngayon, t value. Critical t value, because it's a two-tailed test, it's going to be a plus minus. Dahil kanina, in the previous video, the reason why this is positive, kasi right-tailed. Kapag left-tailed yan, negative. Pero that's not the case, it's positive. So, kapag two-tailed, plus minus. We're gonna focus more on that later. Critical t value, silit na lang. Basta you use the t table to find it. Wait. You don't use the because this is a two-tailed test, it's a over 2, not just a, so it's 0.05. Your a is 0.05, and you have to look for the degrees of freedom, the df, which is basically n minus 1. Sabihin natin n natin is 24 minus 1 is 23. So degrees of freedom, and ito hanapin mo lang yung critical t value nya. Sana ba yun? Critical t value, provided that degrees of freedom is 23 and you have 0.05 as your level of significance, or the a, you have 1.74. 1.714. Number 2. Now that we know the critical t value, reject null hypothesis as always if t-calc is less than or t-calc is greater than. So just write it like this: less than negative 1.714, or t-calc is greater than positive 1.714. How do I know? Diba this is plus minus? How do I know which is going to be the negative and which is going to be the positive. Just imagine this arrow. Ayun, arrow lang. And then ito. Basta memorize it memorize it that way. I think it's the easiest. Hindi po pwedeng ito positive, ito negative. Hindi po pwede. Statistics is very strict on that. Less than positive, tapos less than negative, and then greater than positive. Next, the formula. Copy paste lang yan. I believe Miss Ivy is going to provide the formula in the exam, so we don't have to worry about it anymore. We just have to worry about how we're going to, or which formula we're going to use in a situation. And then minus for 2, wait, walang space, dito na lang, over S is 1.99592 divided by square root of 24. In the calculator, ang sagot dyan is ito. Ay. So yan, negative 1.53406. Let's make a tiny graph again. Visualization lang. So we have positive negative 1.714. Let's say this is positive 1.714. Dito banda is the negative 1.714. Negative 1.534 is over here. In a two-tailed test, this region is do not reject. The right side and left side is reject. So technically our t value falls under do not reject. Therefore, for number 4, step 4 is fail to reject HO, or the null hypothesis. That's it for for example 9.5. Pareho.